Well, welcome aboard, folks. Allegiant and Flying with Mike. We're flying Allegiant Air today from Asheville, North Carolina, down to one of their huge hubs, Sanford, Florida. Now, last I heard, it was kind of splitting a little bit. Some of it was going actually over to O'Hare. I was going to say O'Hare. Oh, my goodness. Orlando. Sorry for the total disrespect there, Orlando. Did not mean to infer O'Hare there. Oh. um, Seriously, though, we are going to take a Allegiant flight. This is real world. Flying out of the Great Smoky Mountains. Two airports service them. This one, Asheville, crossed the ridge behind us and a few more miles west, Knoxville. Otherwise known in the trucking world, for those trying to be truckers, K-Town. All right, we are also going to fly a special plane today. It's one very near and dear. When I first saw this a couple of years ago, my heart just melted. Make-A-Wish Foundation. Folks, if you are looking for a foundation rooted, grounded, and there for the kids, there's one of two out there. Well, three. Let me take that back. One of three that just grabbed my heart, but two of them mostly. Make-A-Wish and, I just lost it in Memphis. It'll come to me. But Make-A-Wish tops my list. St. Jude's. There it is. Sorry, folks. And I didn't Google it. I did not Google it. It came to me. Make-A-Wish is hands down one of those organizations that tears your heart up, but yet puts so much joy in your heart at what they do. Terminally ill children. That right there tears your heart up. They give them the wish of their life. Besides life, unfortunately, they can't cure all ailments. So they go out and fulfill that dream that they want. Of course, Disney and all of that are in there. You've seen some probably on TV of cops and robbers kinds of deals, superheroes. The one that really caught my eye to them was when I drove a truck about 25 years ago. In Iowa, about June, July timeframe, they used to have, and they may still, I haven't been on the road in 20 years, folks, a truck jamboree of enormous, as my daughters like to say, ginormous size, let alone the fact that it's the largest truck stop in the world. Add to it a jamboree of all these trucks descending on it for this event. Make-A-Wish is part of it. Many kids' wishes are to ride in a semi or to be a truck driver. I mean, folks, the trucking life does just reach out at a lot of people, both young and old. Firefighters, police, we all know they get it too. But truck driving is just one of those that many kids draw to. What Make-A-Wish does is reaches out to truck drivers, and they come in. Those that are able to do this will take Make-A-Wish children from Iowa, back then from Iowa to Reno, Nevada, in the truck, running down the road in a convoy. And I never got to see the convoy going down. I've been to the jamboree once or twice. I know for sure once. I can't remember. But anyway, I've been there. And when they get to Reno, it's a huge parade of trucks coming into Reno. Just tears. There's a couple of country and western songs, true country songs. Not so much some of the stuff that's out there today. True country that'll rip your heart apart like this organization will, with how and what they provide for these kids. Think about them, folks. Make-A-Wish. I do not get paid to say a word I'm saying here. They are that special to me. I think they are an outstanding organization. I would love to do a flight raising money for them. I just want to make sure I do it right so that all the money that you great folks out there do comes in, goes direct to them, and then directly out to the children. I don't want it to be in any way other than that way, and I haven't found it yet. St. Jude's, reason I mentioned them, comes in second. What they do for the families of cancer, kids with cancers. Just amazing that they're able, through those remarkable donations that come in from people just like you, to allow the families to be there with their children where they, usually it's Memphis, taking care of the families and finding cures for these children. Amazing work that St. Jude's does. The other one, number 3, was Shriners. We see them all the time here. I don't even know if they're based here in St. Louis or not. We do have a Shriner hospital here. Those 3 organizations are just amazing for children. And folks, I don't make a lick of money off them. I am doing this out of the goodness of my heart. When I fly this airplane, you all know, oh, here he goes. But it's not, to me, I can't say enough for Make-A-Wish, what they do for these children. So, think about it, folks. Again, this is not a donation flight of any kind. It's just, I love this livery. And the fact that Allegiance is willing to slap it on the side of an airplane and advertise wherever November 218, November Victor goes, dynamite. Love it, love it, love it. Hope they never take it off that plane. All right, so like we said, we're here in Asheville, North Carolina. Yes, big news made here a couple of weeks ago, Hurricane Helene. Don't know if it made it abroad to you all. Yeah, a lot of damage. Yes, the coastline where Helene came in down in Florida, the Big Bend section. Yeah, it got hit hard. But where the real news story started was inside and inland of this country. What it did in North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, and South Carolina, unbelievable. Two interstates went out. One pretty major, it's a pretty heavily traveled east-west one, rode on it many a times with the truck. The other, just as important, connecting from that interstate down to the coast. It just was unreal, folks, what it did. And then a few weeks later, here came another one into Tampa. We flew a relief flight for that earlier in the week. So, with all that said, you know what? I think it's time we get to work. We've already got the plane pretty well. They're in the boarding process right now. So, they're pretty much ready to go. All I got to do is click connect and AAY222, and we're an A320 today, folks. We don't fly this one from Flight Factor enough. Things were just clicking like they should. So, and may I forget who it was, original Godspeed, Inusick, I'm not sure who, gave me something to try. And knock on wood, and believe me, I'm hitting my noggin up top here pretty hard, my head. It's working with Flight Factor. Now, that doesn't mean if we were to fly a second flight today and everything would just fall apart. I don't know. But turn Zinc off if you're having radio issues. If you get an exception error from Microsoft closing it. All of which we've already tested the radio thing. That's working. Well, we'll test. I tested it last night. It worked fine. We're going to give it another test. If we go offline in between flights, it failed. You just know it failed. So, but anyway, we're going to give this a try. I just love taking this plane into the air. All right, before we do, let's bring in Sim Toolkit here. As you can see, there's some lines of weather around us here on Sim Toolkit. By the way, I know a lot of you may have never heard of this application. Why? Because everyone streams with Volanta. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad product. And I use the word product for a reason. You'll find out here in a second. Does a lot of great things. I think Sim Toolkit outdoes it in many others and many more. Why I call it a product? You got to pay for a lot of it. That's right. You got to pay. It's not donations. It's outright. You got to pay for it. Sim Toolkit is donation based and provide a heck of a lot more. And for me, it's in the landing part, learning, am I coming in too fast? Am I coming, that's fine and dandy, but where did I touch down on the runway? Sim Toolkit shows that. Yeah. Sim Toolkit allows me to completely plan a flight up right here without having to go off to SimBrief on another browser window. I can do that all right here, as you can see down below. I added it. Very simple program to use. I know some say to me, no, not really, but it really is. And we're gonna show it in between when we get to the next flight. Don't worry, YouTube folks. We'll start up before we do that part, so you can see the simplicity of it and why I just don't go to others. Yes, I am alpha testing with Elevatech, and when I see a problem with it, I tell them. I haven't seen much, but they haven't entered the realm where I think they need to, and I don't think they will. They're pretty well content with Volanta and being an offshoot of Volanta, I think. And if that gets me kicked off, it gets me kicked off. I think they've got a great program. I think there's some great things in it that if they incorporate a few other and keep it free, it'll be a great product. So, and I'm also, believe it or not, helping another group with the same kind of idea. I just can't really talk a lot about them yet. So, when I'm given the green light, I will. I do plan to show Elevatech here soon, but Sim Toolkit is just so easy to do these briefings, that's why. So, let's talk about the loadout. 11,424 pounds. And that to me is one thing I wish Flight Factor or someone, it should be Flight Factor, but I get it, sometimes it's someone else, comes in with a mod that is very simple, works, and will take this up to 180 people. Currently, the 136 passengers you see we're flying, that is the maximum this aircraft will haul. Kind of like the A350. Their A350 is way under what some of the A350s can haul. However, be careful changing that flight factor, because 9 out of 10 times when we load it, the airplane tips to its tail. So there's a lot that needs to be, I think, looked at in that plane. But I get it. They've been focused and tunnel visioned in 7s. And hopefully they'll realize they did. I saw the update. It's in the plane for the A320. Hopefully they get to the others. But anyway, so 11,424 pounds of payload. The block fuel is at, I'm sorry, not pounds, kilograms. I'll explain why. And block fuel, 6,119 kilograms. And then, like I said, 136 people. We're planning 17 for our departure, 09 left for the arrival, and a cost index of 30. 39,000 is the altitude we're headed for. Kilograms just in this, yes, they have a way for you to do it in pounds. The problem is when it gets to certain points in the plane, you got to be in kilograms. It just will not change. And they say, well, the real one doesn't, this, that, and the other. I am not getting in that argument. So I'll get into many arguments. Many people will attest. Not that one. Not doing it. That's almost slapstick humor to me. Anyway, so over to the weather here in Nashville. Right now, winds are calm, 10 miles visibility. Beautiful day for a takeoff. 9,500's where the clouds are. I hope you guys that fly VFR with real planes enjoy your flight. It looks beautiful here. Now, just be mindful. There are, as you can see here on the Volanta, or on the Volanta. Oh my gosh, kill me. No. The Sim Toolkit weather plot, there are some showers in the area. Just be mindful. Let's see, down in sunny Florida, the Sunshine State. Winds out of the east at 8, 10 miles visibility, and it's sunny, it's clear. So, temperature down there, 82 degrees. Beautiful fall day in Florida. Just hope y'all enjoy. And by the way, Sanford, if you're not familiar with where it is, it's the other Orlando airport. However, I've actually never been there. I think it's something like 30 to 50 miles north of Orlando. But it is the other airport. It was the, if it says Allegiant, assume cheap airport. Although now they are flying into Orlando, so you never know. All right, and again, you can start to see. Now, we're going to take off out of here on the Asheville 7 departure. We're going to get into that here momentarily. We are online, stand 5. Why don't we get up in the airplane, see if we're done boarding? Think we are. Okay. So what is the, you know what, that sounds like it's a little loud. Hang on. We do have a sound set in here. I didn't think I'd have to go for it. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it easily. There it is. I'll give you the rundown on it here as I get my screen reset real quick. There we go. From Blue Sky Star Sounds. Pretty good from what I've been able to gather with it. The flight that me and my wife took from St. Louis to Mesa on this airline, the sounds are pretty good. Now, working at an airport with them, not so much outside, but many of you never step outside, so you don't know. maybe even the captains. I don't know, because it's supposedly made by a first officer or captain of not a Legion, of a Airbus A320 pilot, and they all like to say that, I think, just to help boost sales, because it doesn't sound at all like it does starting up outside. Heard them way too many times, that's why. It's like saying to a Rampy, design this. Well, he would know the exterior sounds. He may not know what it sounds like on the inside. See what I'm saying? Same kind of problem. But it's a good sound set inside. That I will attest to. All right. So again, we're taking off, like I said, the Asheville 7. Let me bring charts up here real quick. We'll get that briefed real quick, departure brief here. Okay, first we're going to be, let's just zoom in. We don't have to put up another stinking shot. We're going to push back. With us in this, well, we'll see if we can't get a decent pushback facing north, come out Alpha, taxi all the way down to the end of the runway for takeoff. 8,400 feet, I think we have. For departure. Let's find out for real. 8,000. Okay, I was 400 over. So we're going to face north, take Alpha to the runway. Asheville 7, so simple, folks. Basically, we fly runway heading. It says it's for all runways, but for us, it'll be climb on a heading between 147, 187. From the departure end of the runway, then as filed, 8,000's our game plan. Our game plan, we're just going to fly runway heading, folks. Keep it simple. Sound like a game plan? I thought so. All right, LS. I don't know why you guys are doing this to me. All right. All right, so flight director's on LS 3027. Just going to verify that 3027 is accurate. VOR, thank you. Constraints. 20, I think, is good. Managed for speed and heading. Altitude. You know what? Let's play it right. Why not? Initial climb 8,000. We'll take it up afterwards. VOR. LS constraints. Just in case we got to come back. All right, let's do it. Let's crank this baby up and see what she can do. And double check. Atlanta's been up and down. Okay, they're still down. Oh, we got to get our squawk in here of 2202. All right, clear. 2202, right? Right. Okay. On, set, green. Oh. Now, the big thing, make sure your microphone is available in your X-Pilot or whatever you connect to VATSIM with. Also, make sure your transmit receives are highlighted. Everything's set up, because if it's not, you're going to hear from, or you may not hear from ATC, depending, because you can't hear them. Also, if there's any way for mode C, like ours, green, you can't see it because I haven't brought it up. Real quick. All right, so you see how it says mode C green across the main part where AAY222 is? Over here, your comms, make sure TX and RX are lit up for whatever you're transmitting on. COM 2, make sure now with VATSIM. you're monitoring 121.5. You can't get away. I ain't monitoring guard wide. There ain't nothing on it. Those controllers may actually now do it. I've listened to one do it. Europe is being right on with it, and they are enforced enough that you may not even get your 727 to connect, because you got to have three decimals. So 005, you probably will not hear them. We had that issue with a 727 either this week or last, and probably won't be in Lagan or UK territory online for quite a while till we get this squared away. It's not fair that they're limiting the type of aircraft. So if you want that kind of flying, folks, go to Pilot's Edge and pay for it. All right. Enough negativity. Let's get this thing pushing. What do you think? All right. Well, let's wait. Let's close the door. We've already got the fuel and the cargo. Now, to load the plane with fuel, cargo, and people, of course, you got to call your fuel truck, call your door open. Now, you could set it for stairs or gate, depending where you're at. Stairs, you'll get a little air stair buggy like you see in the diagram. Cargo, you'll get the doors open and the loaders out front or out the side there loading you. But you got to have those three called or you can't load. Or, let me rephrase that. You can't load fuel unless you've called the fuel truck. You can't put cargo on the plane unless you've called it and they're there, highlighted. Nor can you put people on the plane without the door. All right, there's our weight and balance real quick. Looks good. Let's head over here to the PA. And you know what? I am not going to worry about that today. All right, and we'll have another one here in a minute. All right, folks, you ready to go? I think I am. While the jetway's pulling away, the mice shall play.
Hey, Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
Don't leave it that wide open, sir.
Great news, Captain. Your tow's coming.
All right, we're going to pay attention. Sometimes they drop from the roof. Oh, he's not this time. A lot of the cargo places, they'll ride the roof. Memphis and LA are the worst. I haven't really run too many others, but Memphis and LA, that guy will drop down. Now, there is an update. I need to take it one day. One day. All right, chalk's off. Beacon on. All right, let's get this thing ready to start.
Looks like the doors and hatches are closed. We're ready to connect.
Okay, while he's doing that, 3 green on the landing gear, anti-skids on, switching levers are 12 o'clock high, meaning they're normal, and let's go to the transponder. Let's bring it online.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain and crew would like to welcome you on board this Airbus A320. If you haven't already done so, Please stow your carry-on luggage under the seat in front of you, or in an overhead bin.
Welcome aboard,
The
Captain.
captain and crew will do everything possible to make your flight comfortable and enjoyable. The captain, the crew, and flight factor wish you a pleasant flight.
Here comes the pushback. Light 'em up.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the crew, we kindly ask that you direct your attention to the review of the emergency procedures. There are several emergency exits on this aircraft. Take a minute to locate the exit closest to you. Note that the nearest exit may be behind you. Should the cabin experience sudden pressure loss, oxygen masks will drop down from above your seat. Place the mask over your mouth and nose, pull the strap to tighten it and breathe normally. If you are traveling with children, make sure that your own mask is on, before helping your children. In the unlikely event of an emergency landing, leave your carry-on items behind. Life vests are located below your seats, and emergency lighting will guide you to the closest exit. We ask that you make sure that all carry-on luggage is stowed away safely during the flight. While we wait for takeoff, please take a moment to review the safety data card in the seat pocket in front of you.
All right, with the word avail up here, we can now,
Just about done here. Go ahead and set your parking brake.
well, we'll do as he asks, set the parking brake so we can get rid of him. Crank up number
And we're
one.
disconnecting, so give me just a moment.
Okay, and with avail, 3 minutes, we'll get a good warm up here. APU bleeds off. Ground spoilers. Now, one
And
thing,
we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the right. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
thanks for the pushback there. Better pushback, folks. It is better pushback. It's free, very simple. Put it in your plugins folder, and like I said, it is updatable. We're going to flaps 1, and we're waiting to see our pins, which he will show here momentarily. There he is. All right, let's continue on. Pitch trim. All right, one thing I do like about Airbus, you can set this and know it's set properly. Down 5. Okay, there we go. Also, I kind of skip over a couple steps, but since I'm here, I get it. I get this just a little early since I've already got the screen up. Now, hopefully we'll be able to show this, but you can actually test your rudder while taxiing, not affect how you go down the runway or down the taxiway. You're really good if you can do that down the runway. Okay, APU's going off. Slides, you could put them to automatic. All right, they're set. We should have a cabin ready now. All right, and continuing on, nose wheel light, parking brake, and elapsed time. Here we go. How we doing? 2.5? Good. Set this. Brakes to maximum. Auto brake terrain we can turn on. Radar we can turn on now. Reset. And we're set to go. Uh-oh, hang on, we got an issue. Asheville traffic, oh, disregard, we'll go to CTAF. $121.0. That used to be pretty much almost a given for your ground. Asheville local traffic, Allegiant 222, taxi to runway 17. Here we go. Slide, take off, and we're good. Okay, real quick here. Nice little uphill haul up here. Hope you all have a great weekend in store. We're now in the month of November. Hope Halloween went well. How was your Halloween, folks? A lot of ghouls and goblins, hobgoblins out at the doors. We had a good time up with our daughter in St. Charles here in Missouri. And oddly enough, their street seemed to not see a lot of goblins. They were on the street right behind their house. It's kind of weird. And some of those houses were actually, while we were watching their kids or come over and visit, were being built. It's kind of interesting. So, anyway, I hope y'all had a great Halloween. I'm going to try and demonstrate this. Not certain it's going to work very easy. But anyway, I'm going to push the button here and then effect a rudder. And if you notice, nothing changed on the nav display. And we're, for the most part, right down the corridor, and our rudder is still there, see? So let's deselect, get ready for takeoff. Flight attendants, take your seats for departure, please. Hang on. Gonna, couple of things here. Hold that horse down. There we go. And then we'll come over here, PA, Asheville traffic, Allegiant 222 departing 17, Asheville 7 departure. All right, let's get those strobers going. Now, technically, yes, I could leave it in alt, but for the most part, most like to turn them on now. Bear with me a second, I got one more light. Let's do it. Punch it. Flex. Okay, we got spoilers, runway green, blue, climb nav. Yeah. 80 knots verified, airspeed climbing. Alright, I think we're at V1, all looks good, we're go. Rotate. I see a positive rate, gear up. Thousand feet. All right, and direct SUG. And with that, de-arm the ground spoilers. Make sure, and flaps up. Direct SUG, we're on our way, and roger, cleared, flight level 370, or was it 39? 39. I'll tell you, I got a lot of fond memories out in here, folks, of driving the truck on I-40. Wow, I-40. In case you didn't know, folks, this interstate runs from Wilmington, North Carolina. It comes up towards Raleigh, Durham, and then hooks across the state of North Carolina, hooks back up to into Tennessee. It's got a little jug there. I-81 runs off of it where it meets, and then 40 takes you all the way over to Barstow, California. It's one of the longest interstates in the country. But it's not technically coast to coast. Neither is I-70. However, I-80 is, I-90 is. So, I-20 is not. I-10 is maybe one of the longest interstates, running out of Jacksonville all the way over to LA. I-10, as a song out there once said. Right, we're making our turn at SUG. We're above 10,000. Put those back in auto. And yeah, I've been playing with it because, you know, it is something to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we continue to climb, we would like to remind you that all flights of our airline are non-smoking. For your safety, the lavatories have been equipped with smoke detectors. When seated, we recommend to keep your seatbelts fastened, even if the fasten seatbelt sign is not illuminated.
All right, we're on our way. One of these days I'll put it in automatic and see what happens. Problem is, it's been a crapshoot with this plane, folks, as to whether or not it's going to be flyable. Meaning, can I switch radio frequencies? Can I easily, you know, things? Oh wait, get that over there. There we go. So, who knows? We'll give it a try though. It's neat features. It's just the 767, you can actually turn them down. You can't in this one. That's one of my problems. That's what I was looking at with that sound. Is there one specific for the flight attendants? Unless it's hiding in that EFB. Since we've got us... hang on. Let's get over transition, then we shall. Alright. LS constraints airports. Push out 80. 40. Maybe that'll be less. That's better. I think I can set that. And then same over here. Constraints LS. Go 80 for the terrain. Weather radar is on. And there's transition. All right, let's head over here to the EFB. I don't think... Nah, there's no sounds here like Tolis. Yeah, there's none. Okay. And by the way, folks, there was a panel just like this in the Airbus. I happened to catch them working on. I was like, that's pretty cool. This is actually real in a real aircraft, folks. They could do all of this. Huh. All right, well, enough playing. We're on our way, folks. Hope you enjoy the flight up to 39,000. And we'll see if anything comes up like Jacksonville. They were playing around a few days ago. Kind of annoyance that they're up and down. They don't stay up or stay down. So we'll see. It's kind of like they're trying to catch people. So, but anyway, we're on our way. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Thank you for being a part of Flying with Mike. Can you see the cabin? Sure. Hang on a second. XMS. Hang on. Actually, give me a second here. I want to get my I just realized my chat wasn't working. Hang on. There we go. Hang on. Yeah, we'll get into the... Let's see here. We'll go to this view. Swing around. Let's see if I can open the door. I can't remember if you can open it or if I go another route. Okay, hang on. Almost sounded like it opened it, didn't it? Then again, they got some great sounds here, folks, so... Alright, well, worst case scenario, we'll just go this route. Like I said, there's always multiple ways to do what you want to do in these things. Alright, well, I guess because we're in flights, why we can't open it. But anyway, it isn't the greatest of greatest looking galleys, but then again, I didn't pay attention. It could very well look just like that. The somewhat first class. Like I said, that's not a feature on a Legion flights. By the way, that's where that screen is. I don't know if I thought maybe we might. All right, so there's your cabin, folks. Hang on. And this is Flight Factor. Now, there's also Tolus. Now, Tolus, you're going to get a lot more quality, but I don't think anything works or anything like that here. Another galley area back here. They like this blue. Nor do the restrooms and work. So here's a look out the wing on the other side. But try that again. XM Sierra, thank you, sir, for first time chat and coming aboard. Glad to have you aboard. Hope to see you on future flights. Oops, I didn't mean to go to that one. Pretty much what I remember, except I was in... Hang on. Let me come back into the cabin. I was... where you see the exit, I was the back door exit. Yeah, we like, you know, like most people. Let's see something. That's a question I now have. Let's see. Come back. I think it's like right here. Usually there's like extra leg room here. Doesn't look like it here. And if I remember right, I think it's this seat removed or something to give you that extra room. Because you do get a little extra room with these exit seats. So people can get out, basically. That's the whole goal. And these two are right over the wing. Up, be right back. Someone's at the door. Sorry about that, folks. I forgot all about it being the first of the month. And my wife's treasurer of the HOA we're part of. And everyone's paying their fee today. Or some of them are. So I forgot all about that. All right, so, and I'm also testing a theory I have out here. I keep getting a little message about my encoder is overloaded. I also have, it's getting warm in my office, or otherwise known as studio, and opening up some windows. I can't do much because the sun's right at that right spot now in fall. But we'll kind of see how that works out. See if we can't, if it's temperature that's causing it. So, anyway, what's that got to do with the flight? Probably absolutely nothing. So, let's turn that seatbelt sign off back there. We're in cruise. And, oh, no, we're not. Well, they got blessed. Matter of fact, I am going to try. Be 1 second. I'm going to try something here to help cool the office a little more. Hang on. Also, by allowing more wind in, maybe I'll see people coming up. So, anyway. All right, so let's cruise on, folks, shall we? Welcome aboard. Hope you enjoy. Would love for you to follow the channel. That way you'll be notified of when we fly next, when we go live. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, what we do basically is we're recording this flight, this live stream on Twitch. Once we're done with this flight and the next one, we'll upload to YouTube and then they'll be out. Yesterday's flight's coming still today sometime, I think. And you can subscribe over at YouTube, which is just like following. It just lets you know a new video has released. Once we figure out the ins and outs and which is best for the stream, we plan to dual stream both Twitch and YouTube. So for now, if you want to be a part of the live stream, if you'd like to join us, be in the chat, subscribers to the Twitch feed, which is a pay service, it'll be members when we go to monetized. You'll get earlier notification of a live stream, and when we do open it, the chat room, voice chat room, will be available. I don't open that much anymore. Two reasons. One, I get fixated more there than the actual chat, and two, I miss things sometimes in the sim that I needed to do. So I kind of take it easy that way. So, all right, well, enjoy, and I'll be monitoring the chat, and love to have you aboard. Welcome, Allegiant Flight 222 to Sanford, Florida, the other Mickey Mouse Airport. And you all know how I like flying to those other airports: Midway, Sao Paulo, Santo Dumont, Congonhas in Sao Paulo, by the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few moments, the flight attendants will be passing cold drinks and a light meal. Please prepare your folding tables. Make sure your seats are in an upright position.
All right, 34 minutes into Sanford. So far, I don't see any other ATC. We've entered Jacksonville, and oh, there's another. Oh, someone's firing up an Allegiant flight out of Allentown. Nice. So again, hope your Halloweens went well. Love to hear what fun you had in your neighborhoods in the chat. Just awesome. And I know, like I told you on the climb out, we had a fantastic time out in St. Charles with my daughter and her husband's family, and of course the two grandkids out there. And boy, it wasn't cold, but the wind just put that nip in the air just enough. Not like last year. Last year was downright bone chilling, cold wind. Oh man, everything. Most of us remember what Halloween was like. Yeah, this year just a lot of wind. Not a lot, just enough though to make it a little chilly. So it doesn't help that we had rain earlier in the day, so the ground and the air is still a little damp from the rains. But we at least didn't rain, and the kids were having fun. You know, that's what it's all about. We took our other daughter and our other grand kid to the festivities as well, and we had fun. Great dinner, great meal, great fellowship, just a great time, folks. And hope you all were able to. So. And the good thing for many out there, not everyone, but for many, it is the weekend is upon us. Some, their weekend is starting. Here in the States, it will be here in a few hours. I hope you have a great, safe weekend and enjoy the fall colors here. What may be left. We had a really windy week here. So we got out last weekend, and oh, what a beautiful display the Lord had on for us with the fall colors. Just absolutely gorgeous. Went out to a lake here in town, Rend, not in town, in the state, Rend Lake. Went south, and I knew if we went south, get into the um, uh, can't remember the name of the national park down there now, doggone it. But anyway, that whole area, I knew southern Illinois, where it starts getting really bumpy and hilly. Oh yeah, it did not dismay us at all. It was gorgeous. It came to me, the Shawnee National Forest Reserve down there. Oh, just gorgeous. So, I hate these altitude changes. I really hope now. I don't know if this was flight factor or not, but boy, they are annoying here of late. But yeah, I hope y'all get out and enjoy. Hope y'all had a fantastic, like I said, Halloween. Unfortunately, with Halloween now behind us, you know what's next. My favorite holiday, well, holidays, good eating days, Turkey Day and Christmas. Christmas I love so much. Personally, my wife knows it. A lot of people who know me know it. I would love to have this house decked out Christmas year round. Just an amazing holiday. Amazing day to even think of. And I try to every day. So, much like our verse here in helping us to understand about prayer and that how the Spirit that's inside of us helps us to pray. When we don't know what to pray sometimes, we're without words. The Spirit knows what we ought to pray, as it says. It says out of Romans 8:26, leading into one of the verses many people know, 8:28. But it says, in the same way the Spirit helps us in our weaknesses, we do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit helps intercede for us through wordless groans. Those wordless groans, God understands, because it's God's Spirit that is dwelling within us. Prior to Jesus, the Jewish folks had this building they thought could house Jesus, or God. No, God is within, the temple now is within us. The Holy Spirit is there to nurture us, to help us when we don't know what to pray, because we should be praying. Jesus prayed all the time to the Father. And many times we can't or won't when we should. So it's great to know that the Spirit is there to help us when we don't know what to pray. So keep that in mind as we roll into the holidays, folks. A lot of them. Got Veterans Day coming up. You got Thanksgiving. Oh, keep that in your heart. A lot of stuff to be thankful for. And Christmas. So. But the big hurdle is to get past Tuesday. And that a lot of people are fearful of it. I've been praying a lot that we keep it what the United States is super known for. I pray and pray and pray we keep it peaceful, to show these other countries who don't, whose elections get very bloody, that we are a peaceful nation, especially when we elect our next leader, whether we like them or not. We turn to violence too much lately, when we should, as Jesus said, just turn the other cheek and let God do what God does. And sometimes we like it, sometimes we may not, but there's always a great purpose behind it. We got to keep that in mind, folks, as we get into this, what's coming up Tuesday. I pray you get out and vote, those of you here in the United States. I just pray for the nation afterwards. All right, looking at our flight here, folks. Let me get back on the perf page here. 56 miles out, so let's get the numbers in. Pulling it up right now off of NavGraph 3015. Now, with this aircraft, you have to type 30.15. Or it won't accept it. 29 is what it is now at Sanford. Got an interesting side note about Sanford here in a second. And I'm kind of curious, railroad enthusiasts, calling on you now. I hope you can help. And minimums for this approach. Whoa, hang on. They're making it very difficult. Let's go 255. And that is our minimum descent altitude, decision altitude. Now, some people argue with me. I get it. When I say minimum descent altitude, that's technically what it is. However, how I take it, sometimes, some of these approaches, it doesn't work. Mean sea level descent, meaning what your altimeter is going to read 255 when we're at our decision altitude, which is technically 200 feet above the ground. That's what's in brackets. All right, now another thing, just real quick footnote there on that. Your above the ground indications on your charts, okay, they're in the brackets, the parentheses, non-bold, are also how your METARs come at you. The altitudes for the clouds, you know, broken 040 or 002, those are above ground numbers, not mean sea level. Because trust me, you fly Bogota once. Europe, I'm trying to think of a higher altitude airport. Like Bogota. None come to mind real quick. Bogota is a kind of an exception. 8,000 feet above sea level. Oh, we could go with El Alto. It's 13,000 feet above sea level. I still can't believe people live there. You know, that's when we go on oxygen as private pilots, 12,000. And people live there. It's like, oh my God. I mean, that is some serious acclimating to it. Curious what life's like for those that live in those higher elevations is like when they come here. Are they like Superman? Leaping tall buildings in a single bound? Faster than a speeding bullet? It just amazes me. So, but anyway, here's a question or a little fun fact about Sanford. Amtrak nuts. And if you're on the East Coast, you're an Amtrak nut. Most of you've ridden Amtrak some point on the East Coast, especially from DC to Boston, possibly inland. They've got some new trains coming on board. There's a Floridian, I think it's called, going from Chicago to Miami, plus your Silver Star or Silver Palm running up and down. Well, there was this train from Oh, I can't think of the name of the town in Virginia. But it's called the Auto Train. And basically, imagine a train with auto racks that you see cars going from assembly lines to the dealership or to the cities to then be dispersed out to the dealerships with the words Amtrak on them. And basically, you show up to the station in Virginia or Sanford. They load your car into these car racks and close it all up, switch it onto your train, and away you go. Make stops along the way. Now, that part I haven't understood yet, how they do stops along the way. If you're allowed a car, if you're not for the stops, all of that good stuff. But it's an interesting concept. I know there's some out in Europe similar in nature, but not to the degree, of course, the U.S. takes things. But yeah, Sanford is that terminus. Now, with this new train to Chicago and these updated Silver Palm, Silver Light, whatever they called it, is that train still there? For the love of God, I can't remember where in Virginia it went. I'll have to Google it. All right, sorry, folks. Had a sniffle there. Okay, currently we're looking, by the way, at a landing speed of 126 and an approach of 130. It's auto descend via the Thor 3. Duh. I don't get it. I really don't. We're 7 miles out. We're going to go ahead and descend. All right. Now, in the A330 with TOLUS, it's a little different than these. All you got to do is either click with the up arrow, click with the down. Up arrow will put you you got to set an altitude, silly. All right. Hang on. I don't think we have a altitude oh yeah, we do. 12,000 by Thor. Yeah, I don't get this whole concept of auto ATC. I mean, I really just don't. And I don't want to get in there and dismay people that think it's the greatest thing on this side of sliced bread. Yeah, just don't get it. But yeah, it was an interesting train, like I said, folks. I'm looking it up right now since that's about all we have. Auto train. Lorton, Virginia to Sanford. Curious if it's still on. So it was a really neat concept train. Really, from what my dad and mom say, really well done. Your car travels with you to Florida, vice versa back up. Snowbirds love them. Their car is with them. And more importantly, you didn't have to drive the infamous I-95. Ugh. Even back in my day, that interstate sucked. Especially, it didn't matter where you were on it. It just stunk. Matter of fact, watched a cute video earlier today on YouTube. The 3 most dangerous roads in the U.S. Boy, I could argue that, but what they were going with, we'll let them go with it. I-15 in Nevada. I love how they say routes. Route 431 through Alabama. And where the heck was the worst one? All of which I can attest to. I can't remember where the other one was now. But anyway, those two, I've been on portions of 431. Yeah, it's got some treacherous areas. And what they were going off of, folks, were people killed per 100 miles. I don't remember what the... Anyway, it was an interesting, being an old truck driver, I kind of get into those things a little bit. So, seeing what they come up with, the public.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat...
One more time, a beautiful look at Make-A-Wish. Talked about it a lot on the opening remarks. And folks, if you're looking for some organization to donate to, you're looking at probably one of the best. I mentioned 3. This helps out children by giving them their wish, what they would want to be it a superhero, cop, firefighter. I don't know what they do with flying, but I'm sure they find ways to grant wishes that way. I was introduced to it in trucking out at the Iowa Jamborees, June, July time frames, and Make-A-Wish would have these children ride in semis from come on, Mike, Quad Cities, right there on the Iowa-Illinois border, all the way across to Nevada. And they got to live the dream of being a truck driver by at least riding in one of those, some of the greatest looking trucks out there. And just phenomenal what they do. The other 2 were St. Jude's and Shriners. St. Jude's, if you're not familiar with children with cancer, they not only are trying to find the cures, but when the child is diagnosed and they need to go to St. Jude's, the families do not pay a dime. The donations that come in allow them to stay nearby so they can be with their kid in the hospital going through these treatments or whatever is required. They're there with them. And Shriners is not much different. And but they're not children of cancer, they're children of other issues. They're all 3 just phenomenal. I just took a very strong liking to what Make-A-Wish does. There's an actual country and western song out there called Teddy Bear. Came out in the 70s, I believe, when country music was still country music, not what it's gyrated out to today. And folks, it will bring a tear. I'm going to warn you, put a box of tissues there. If you don't touch it, you're not human. It is that powerful of a song. So, anyway, great organization, Make-A-Wish. And like I said earlier, I don't get paid. This folks, I speak from my heart and not a paid spokesman for them. I'm just telling you what a great organization they are. So, oh, the things those three do for children is amazing. All right, we're getting down to our transition level here. Transition level again is going to be 18,000, and we're going to 30.15. All right. Thor is 12,000. Then our next one is Loki. Huh. Wonder where they come up with Ragnar and Odin and Thano. I don't know. Can't figure these out. But thank you so much, folks, for being a part of Flying with Mike. We sure appreciate. Oh, that's my call. 3015. All right, and I just appreciate y'all. Like I said, if you like what you hear and see, we'd love you to follow us. And if you hate those ads, unfortunately, I'm sorry, here on Twitch, if you want ad-free viewing, you do have to subscribe at the rates that Twitch is assigned. And it helps us out, but it of course helps Twitch keep us online. But it does help the stream. We take that money directly into the stream, helping to finance sounds for aircraft. We're going to start some sceneries. We're looking for some things where we kind of hang out a lot, and hope you enjoy. But before I get kind of quiet here, thank you if you do subscribe. Means so much, folks, that you're supporting what we're doing here and helping us with our bills. All right, so Thor, then 8,000. Thinking we might have Thor made. Oh, it's Odin. My bad, Odin. Sorry, just not a Marvels person. Okay, so Pagan out 5,000. $120.3. All right, so Odin, we got to be at 250. How far out? Close enough. Alright folks, if you're into it, now would be a great time for exclamation mark the word land, or let me try that again. Exclamation mark the word predict. Put a space in there and a negative number. Very similar to how I'm doing it right now. And I may have to reset Sim Toolkit, it looks like. Oh, I think I am. Hang on. Click. There it took. Alright, let's see how we're doing. We're down on our speed, so we can pull the speed brakes off. And let's plan medium on the brakes. Okay, Odin, right on schedule, headed for Thano and Ragnar, then Loki. Perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes our aircraft will land at the destination airport. For your safety, we ask you to remain seated until the aircraft comes to a complete stop and the fasten seatbelt sign is turned off. When preparing to depart, please make sure to take all your personal belongings with you. Attention international travelers, if you are continuing your flight, follow the signs to international transit area.
Alright, sorry we had someone at the door, folks. Can't wait for Tuesday to be over. Okay, we're approaching Sanford at this time. Slowing to 210 and preparing for approach. All right. Okay, constraints. Just on the outside chance, get them set up for both. Okay, we're over at Loki at 5,000, slowing to 210, which we're at for Munks. And then 5,000, we'll head in for the airport. Alright, so GPS is required for UDZ, and will be no faster than 210. We'll probably descend to 3,000. Okay. And Roger, Allegiant 222 descending 3,000. Huh. Gotten into a pretty overcast bunch of clouds here at 4,500. All right, and Yukma is 2,000, descending 600, 1,600. Again, now's a good time to put in your prediction for our arrival. It's exclamation mark, the word predict, space, and a negative number. Always curious to see how we all do. Sanford traffic, Allegiant 222 over Yadoozy, initial approach fix for runway 9. Okay, localizer, go ahead and turn that on. I think I got the runway in sight. We'll see. All right, folks. There's the runway. We're on. Let's pop up, get the spoilers armed. We're set. Flaps are now full. And we'll get a little stabilized here, and then I'm going to take over. Sanford traffic, Allegiant 222s over Olnef, the final fix for runway 9. Okay, we're planning to land minimums.
Above 300.
Landing stable.
Caution, taxiway. Caution, taxiway.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 20. 10. 5.
Caution, on taxiway. On taxiway.
Legion 222 off at Bravo 2. Maybe crashing to desktop. That would really suck. And we did. Hopefully I can record this. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, well, let's see. Hang on, folks. That was really a nice landing, too. Let's get in here, see what caused it. Definitely something to do with flight factor. After set, after set. All right, well. hang on, we're going to transition into the next flight here. Stand by for a second, folks. I'm going to pretty much not be flying this plane pretty much anymore. I'm just getting this up to flight factor because and we'll get the numbers here. Since we can't restart this flight, we'll just go with what they give us. Hour and 19-minute flight. Okay, and okay, that'll do it. Well, we'll see if they do anything. That's a bummer, folks. All right, well, we can actually file this flight over at Millennium. We might just that's just aggravating. Anyway, Hang on a second here. All right, so let's look at it, shall we? What a bummer. Crashed the desktop on landing, pretty much. Welcome to Flight Factor. Hopefully they figure this out, because it's kind of really irritating. Okay, sorry about that, folks. Just there we go. All right, so here's Sim Toolkit. We'll at least be able to see what we did on the landing, at least. That's about it, though. Looks like a good flight overall. Let's get into the details. It was an hour and 19 minutes. Figure about 5 more minutes. About call it an hour and a half. 400 miles, 2,800 kilograms of fuel, 1.5, 263 feet a minute. We landed slow. Should have been around 125, 26. Now here's where Sim Toolkit outdoes the rest. Is that the end of the runway? Oh, shows you where you planted it on the runway. The others don't, and that's a shame. Unfortunately, it also sometimes puts you on the other runway. We're 1,200 feet off the center line. No, we're not. The green dot's where we're actually at. And that right there is your legitimate threshold. So, folks, I'm going to call it about 1,200 feet down the center line. Where is that runway at? Oh, how the heck do they get 900 feet if the threshold's right there? Yeah, you never know, folks. Anyway, we were actually coming off, I think, here when the crash to desktop happened. We'd have ended up in here. So, great flight, folks, overall. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was right here. So, again, we were slow, so that's part of the cause. And it was what it was. So, and unfortunately, like I said, we did crash the desktop, not crash the sim. The sim itself crashed the desktop. So for now, folks, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead, shut everything down, reboot up. Normally, we do this where I keep the sim going. And hang on, let me check something here. I may be able to keep doing that. You know what? Let's try that. I'm going to try something here. Oop, wrong one. There we go. I am going to try and keep the sim going. I'm really tempted to restart everything after that, but I'm going to try this. Hang on. Go here, click here. Oh, that's just a booger. All right, there we go. Why don't we just roll right into the next one and see what kind of damage we can do on this one. Basically, folks, this will be Cleveland to, well, if he can quit screwing around here. There we go, Captain. There we go. We're set up for the next flight there. And there, we're just going to keep trucking it on. We're going to be in Cleveland. YouTube folks, we're going to go ahead, shut down your side, get things realigned over here. When we have everything up, we'll bring you all in, and we will walk with Sim Toolkit in setting up this flight. So give us about 5-10 minutes. Twitch will be back up and going. Right now, restarting the sim as we speak. And we'll go from there. So for now, thank you so much for being a part of Flying with Mike. Sorry for the crash to desktop there as we came off the runway. I don't think I've been to Sanford, but maybe once or twice in X-Plane 12. Maybe it's something to do with default scenery. Who knows? But it's off to the folks at Flight Factor. YouTube will see you momentarily, bringing you up on the next video. And I hope you all, if you're not able to come into the live stream, we hope you have a great and blessed, and God bless you all. Have a great day.